There's the beautiful scenery from downtown Tulsa as we get set for USL Championship action on a Wednesday night here in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Welcome in, everyone. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders, where tonight San Antonio FC and the Tulsa Roughnecks are just moments away from kickoff. And Dave, the story from the Roughnecks perspective is, how do you pick yourself up after playing extremely well, going unbeaten in 4, and then to give up that heartbreaker in stoppage time on Saturday night?
So cruel, isn't it, Pop, to lose a game like that at that time. The good news is, here we are a few days later. That's the best way to pick yourself up.
Absolutely. Coaches always want to get that taste out of your mouth, and to have a midweek game probably beneficial for the Roughnecks. Now, from San Antonio's perspective, right there in the middle of the hunt for a playoff spot, and this is one of those must-win games for them on the road, a place, Dave, that hasn't been very kind to them at all, and we'll get to see one of their best players, and that is Frank Lopez, who came over, I believe, July 17th, his first match with San Antonio FC from Los Dos, and he's been an absolute spark plug for them.
Absolutely. The Cuban, 24 years old, 7 goals already for San Antonio. He is a real threat to the Roughnecks defense tonight.
13 total on the season for him, 5 assists, one of the key players that Matt Sheldon will have to deal with tonight. He's our highlighted player for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Dave, let's talk a little bit about Matt Sheldon and how much better that he's been as of late and has helped this resurgence of the Roughnecks with their improved back line.
Yeah, he's in the back 4 now. He came back from injury. He's played 15 games, and he is someone that earns his place.
It's an incredible night in Tulsa. Temperatures all day long in the mid-80s. It'll be brilliant for kickoff coming up here in just a bit. As we mentioned, San Antonio, their next 3 matches, Fresno, and then they go on the road for 2. And all of those are now must-wins if they want to stay in that fight. USLChampionship.com right now predicts about a 75% chance for them to make the playoffs. The Roughnecks need a lot of help. Not officially eliminated yet, Dave, but last Saturday's loss didn't help, but they've got to win the rest of the way out.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. It was a real sickener to lose it, but they've got to win all 4 games, and as you say, get some help.
When we come back, we'll be set for kickoff. We'll bring you the starting 11 from both sides in a very important match here in the middle of the week in the championship. I'm Jeremy Poplin. That's Dave Saunders. Don't go anywhere because the kickoff is coming up next.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug. You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
And there's the shots from pitch level at One Oak Field, where tonight San Antonio FC and the Tulsa Roughnecks, and we'll dive right in. Dave Saunders, San Antonio FC, 2 games in 4 days, and that will be a telltale sign of how their season ends up going as they march towards the playoffs. There you see there Matt Cardoni Also, Yarrow in the back, along with Kai Green. Both of those guys have played every single minute so far this season. And Tony Taylor up top. This is a San Antonio FC side that is a little bit banged up coming in here on a midweek game in Tulsa. There you see the shot from behind the goal that Mason Stidehar will protect tonight for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Dave, outside of seeing Calvin Resende there in the middle and Stidehar, pretty familiar lineup that we've seen as of late.
Yeah, it certainly is the normal back four there. Maybe Lobo will play at left back. Sheldon will play at right back. Nice to see Stidehar back, the Orlando Loney. Big night for him. And, of course, Toby Uzo up front looking to add to his 2 goals this season.
As we talked about, this San Antonio side here this evening, that does not feature Frank Lopez due to a lower body injury. Also, a couple of other players that have, air quotes, lower body injuries. And of course, Pekka on the red card suspension, who is not available this evening as we are underway here in the 918. Live from One Oak Field, I'm Jeremy Poplin. Dave Saunders bringing you all the action tonight on ESPN Plus. The Roughnecks and San Antonio FC. We mentioned here in the beginning of tonight's broadcast about the mental state of where the Roughnecks are after Saturday night's unfortunate loss in stoppage time, in which the Roughnecks were pushed completely forward to give up that goal after the 93rd minute. Heartbreaking loss for them after they felt like they had at least earned a point. And here in the early going, we have Sheldon, who's already taken a bit of a knock, but he is up, or that's, excuse me, Rodrigo da Costa. He is up and okay, and the Roughnecks will restart.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, when you lose any game of soccer, but to lose it in the 93rd and a half minute, I'm sure like everybody else, Pop, yeah, I've played it a few times just to see what went on. The players have had to pick themselves up, but as I said in that introductory piece there is no better way for a professional soccer player than to have a game right around the corner. It's just, 3 days ago, so they've got a chance to pick themselves up tonight.
There's the record with Darren Powell as the head coach of San Antonio FC, 5-1-2, a series that's been, well, quite frankly, dominated by San Antonio FC on the road and also there at Toyota. There's a shot and a header and a goal, and the Roughnecks have jumped out early here in the 2nd minute, and it's Toby Uzo. Toby Uzo, who had a great game on Saturday night, has put the Roughnecks in the lead in the early going, and what a finish from big number 9.
Well, Pop, there's your answer, isn't it? You concede a goal in the 93rd and a half minute a few days ago. Within 2 minutes, big Toby Uzo, brilliant assist from Altamirano. Look at the cross there. No chance for Cardoni, who's not even touched the ball in the San Antonio goal. What a start for the Roughnecks. What a great reply. And they go 1-0 up.
And a great ball over the top of Yarrow, just using that height advantage there from Toby Uzo to finish that one, Dave. And watch the placement of this from Altamirano. Right over the top, and the header. Cardoni not able to get there in enough time. Uzo with the finish, and the Roughnecks are off to the races here in the middle of the week.
And should add to that Christian Altamirano's 5th assist of the season. He not only scores, he's got 6 on the season, but he's now got 5 assists. As you said, Pop, pinpoint cross. And Toby Uzo, well, unchallenged, heads it into the roof of the net.
Well, that's quite a way for the Roughnecks to start, and there are 2 very important factors there that we've talked about consistently. Altamirano being on the ball more in that role, which he has been here as of late, and also Toby Uzo, who is continuing to build that confidence and is able to finish that one off for goal number 3 of the season for him.
Yeah, goal number 3, as you say, another man to keep your eye on is the lad playing with the number 16 shirt, Rodrigo da Costa. Didn't have so many touches on the ball the other night, so he'll be wanting to put that right. The number 16 playing in the number 10 position for the Roughnecks tonight.
Now Tulsa back to defending. Luca Lobo gets the left boot on it out to Resende. Resende has shown signs of having some speed, dumps it over the top on the dead run for Uzo in between 2 defenders and cut off there.
Yeah, Resende is really the only change, apart from Stidehar in goal, taken over from Sean Lewis. Resende's in that midfield doing that work that Manny Gonzales does. He's on the bench, so it's Resende and Brian Reyes in the midfield trying to break things up.
I don't think it's necessarily of any knock on Manny Gonzales with the way that he's played over the past several matches. To me, it's more of an offensive mindset tonight for Michael Inzian.
I think you're absolutely right. Manny Gonzales, you know, does venture forwards in some ways, and he held it tight. Him and Reyes were the glue, you know, for the Roughnecks the other night against Orange County. But I think you're right. Resende just had a little bit more going forward.
Lovely switch of the field. Restrepo able to bring it in on the touchline, knocked off of the ball, and there's Resende one more time. Rodrigo da Costa has options to the outside, finds Marlin. Marlin now will drop back to Matt Sheldon. Sheldon thought about the square ball, tries to play it up the line. Uzo there in the vicinity, and they'll play back to Cardoni.
Yeah, Uzo's working hard up top. You know, when you get a couple of strikes on goal, maybe in the whole game, he's already 1 from 1, isn't he? Here's a ball, good ball, but Roberts is there. But other than that, you know, you got to work hard off the ball and make yourself available. And that's what he's doing.
Resende with the turn there midfield. Uzo playing with his back to the goal. Now back to the center circle, finds DaCosta. Out wide, Marlin has Sheldon on an overlap if he wants it. Just a tad bit caught in no man's land. Couldn't find that ball, couldn't get its way there. Marlin with a chance to run onto it, and Marlin's shot is in. And the Roughnecks are absolutely on fire here in the opening moments of the match here on a Wednesday. Marlin slots it home, and San Antonio FC is stunned here in the early going.
I think stunned is the word. I think less than 6 minutes gone. The Roughnecks are 2-0 to the good. It was a beautiful threaded ball through. We'll see on the replay in a moment. Marlin's 4th goal of the campaign. Good build-up before that. There's the threaded ball, and what a cool finish from the Brazilian Marlon. His 4th goal, as I said, and the Roughnecks have a 2-goal lead.
And the first touch from Marlin as well. And from our angle, you begin to wonder, is he going to have a chance to run onto that ball? He caught up to it in just enough time. Proper placement and the finish.
Well, we'll see it again here. There's the ball from DaCosta, missed by the defender. Trying to see who that was. Who
it went in between Akon and Yarrow.
Yeah, and yeah, look at Cardoni. He said, you know, we're not off the bus yet. And if you're a San Antonio fan watching in, it's not all over. But basically, Darren Powell's men need a wake-up call here, don't they?
Well, this has got to be disappointing. They knew that it was going to be tough tonight, considering the amount of injuries that they had, and especially with their top goal scorer not playing here this evening. And this is from a team that played with a man down against Los Dos for, I believe, over 30 minutes the other night. And this is one of those that, given the position in the standings in the West with where Tulsa is, San Antonio desperately needed this one if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, and hasten to add, there's only 7 minutes gone on the whole game. So, you know, 2-0, it's not a mountain to climb yet. You know, San Antonio get one in this first half, and they're back in it. So here's the corner and a first chance for them.
Both hands raised. They'll keep it short. Right outside the 18. The attempt is knocked down. I believe Rodrigo da Costa was the Roughnecks player that was there on the attempt.
But, you know, Pop, we were saying, you know, the question was asked, what did the Roughnecks do after conceding so late against Orange County? And I think they've answered. You know, obviously, Coach Henson has worked hard with the players. I'm sure in the locker room it was go out there, play with confidence, get an early goal, settle things down, and really icing on the cake. They've got 2 early goals, which is really tremendous for them at One Oak here.
I think there's a little bit of a freeing nature to really, what do the Roughnecks have to lose at this point?
Absolutely. 4 games, including this one, 3 of them here at One Oak. You know, 1 trip to Seattle to play Tacoma Defiance on Saturday, and as you say, you know, finish the season strong and pick it up for next season. Still not mathematically out of the playoffs, but incredibly difficult, need a lot of favors.
Yeah, only 2 teams eliminated in the West. That's Tacoma and also Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. We'll get to the news on them as they have a new head coach. Shot about that later on in the broadcast. Here's Brian Reyes. Settles. Does Altamirano. in between the two defenders, kept his run alive. Uzo trying to link up with him. Would have been a nice little give and go there from Uzo to Altamirano, and here comes San Antonio FC.
I think if you go back to the 2 goals, you would say it was too easy from San Antonio's point of view. The Roughnecks were able to find space. Altamirano was able to pick out a cross. Here's a chance, but just overhit there for a goal kick. I think easy is the word. You know, they were able to pick their spot, and, you know, good finish from Marlin as well, but too easy, you know, not great defending. So they'll have to pick themselves up now and come from a two goals behind, as we said, very, very early on in the game, not even 10 minutes gone. And the Roughnecks just need, from their point of view, to keep going and contain this lead, and hopefully, you know, they'll have an eye on half-time, getting into half-time with a lead. But as we say, very, very early.
We saw a shot of Marlin there walking away, and his presence on this pitch and to this team has been so valuable for them. And it was really that extra piece to the puzzle to make everything work. You can call it that piece, that puzzle piece. You can call it that missing ingredient there in the mixture. But since he has become eligible, and it took a little while for things to go through, the Roughnecks had actually signed him well in advance, and it just took a little while for that paperwork to be cleared. And once it has, Dave, you can see now the vision that was Michael Insine and the Roughnecks of what a guy like that can provide.
Exactly, and he brings out the best in others, doesn't he, as well? You know, he's a very, very skillful player. That's a slightly underhit back pass, but he brings out the best in others. You know, he's brought the best out in Toby Uzo, and Altamirano loves playing on one wing, Marlon on the other. It just gives the whole team a lift, and he was the best signing of the season.
"12 minutes in, 2 goals already for the home side. San Antonio shocked here in the early going. Will they settle in? Seemingly now just taking their time here, trying to knock it around a little bit, get the feeling back in their legs. Here's Gomez. Tony Taylor, who's a recent addition to San Antonio FC, the 30-year-old. Looking for a little veteran leadership, was SAFC. Looking for Castillo there. There he is. Castillo, turn, and an incredible goal. Oh, the crafty, wily veteran, Rafael Castillo, has pulled San Antonio FC back within 1 at 2-1 and let the fireworks begin on the night. Oh, Rafa, watch this turn on this replay.
I mean, he did it so quickly, didn't he? Control, hit, and he doesn't get many goals, Castillo. That's only his 2nd of the season, but he gives them, you know, back at there, right back in this game now at 2-1 with just 12.5 minutes gone.
Well, it's been an interesting year for the Colombian, because you go back May 29th, that was the last time that you had seen him until you go all the way until the 14th of this month. Now, a lot of that is due to the depth and the quality of play at that position, and he just waited his time. And since he made an appearance in the Oklahoma City Energy game, which was a big one for them, I mean, that was his first goal of the season and has made an impact on the score sheet in some form or fashion in the 2 matches that he's been in, and add another one here tonight for 3 in a row. So when they've needed his skill set most, he has come through for them.
Well, he certainly has, and he plays in that deep and midfield role. So I'm sure, you know, we'll just go to the play here. Just a bit of miscontrol there. We're going to be a goal kick. But, you know, to come up in the area like he did, and we're going to see it again here. Look at where he is. An advanced position here, Pop. This is clever here. That little run there. Suspicion of offside, but I think Lobo played him on. And then that quick take it down and hit. There he is, the man in picture. That's great skill.
Well, Rafa has to also keep an eye on where Marlin Roberts is at that time too, and that's towards his backside, so he's got to use that vision, and he did a great job.
Well, we went 93 and a half minutes without a goal the other night here at One Oak, and we've seen 3 inside the first 12 minutes. So a goal fest here at One Oak. But
and to the opposite end now, a corner.
Yeah, and anybody's game, of course, now 2-1.
Hand raised from Rodrigo. Curling ball. Not much on the clearance. Fortunate there. Cyprian Hedrick was up for the challenge. Throw in awarded here. Restrepo has it. Long ball over the top. Gomez got to it. That first touch, though, a bit much. And a throw in on the far side of the pitch.
Somebody who hasn't had a lot of the ball is, of course, a very talented player, is the number 19, Christian Perano. Wearing the number 19, 7 goals. Playing in that number 10 position tonight, but hasn't had many touches of the ball. And he'll be looking to help out Tony Taylor, who's up there. Big night for Tony Taylor. You've already mentioned him in commentary, Pop, that hasn't scored this season and will want to help out the team, and he's playing as the lone striker.
Yeah, added, he was released in July. He's got a good pedigree, represented the U.S. U20s, U23s, and then switched to Panama at the senior international level. Has played for NYCFC, 2 goals in 17 games, 2-year stint, and then had an awful ACL tear, and that ended his 2015. Had a good run up in Ottawa as well with Ottawa Fury. And they were hoping that he can be that difference maker here down the stretch. And they're not signing Tony Taylor to be, anything like we saw from Frank Lopez, because that's, what he's done since he's come over from Los Dos has been incredible. They will need him a tad bit more here this evening, but 2 players to sign at that point in the season, Dave. Frank Lopez has done the majority of that work, but if Tony Taylor can pick it up even just a bit, San Antonio can prove to be a handful.
Yeah, Lopez is an outstanding player, isn't he? And sorry, we're not going to see him play tonight, but he's, like you say, Pop, 7 goals, since he's joined San Antonio. But it's, as I said, a big night for Tony Taylor, who's the focal point of the attack, isn't he? Holding the ball up like Toby Uzo for the Roughnecks.
Here's Resende with a challenge, keeps it alive. Toby Uzo down the line for Altamirano. Too much there. Throw in for San Antonio FC.
Game settling down a bit now, isn't it? Those
yes.
3 goals early on. We've not seen a goal for 5 or 6 minutes. But San Antonio getting the feel of the ball here and knocking it around quite nicely now.
Nice night here in Tulsa this evening, here at One Oak. Few clouds and showers here earlier in the day, but for the most part it's been dry. Good work from San Antonio. Hernandez, bit of a mistouch. Rafa helps him out though. LaHood. Out wide for Restrepo. Turn from Gomez. Resende is trailing there with him.
All the San Antonio players very, very comfortable on the ball, aren't they? You can see them all wanting the ball, all working for each other.
Yeah, Rafa right now is taking the most touches that we've had from a San Antonio player here in about, the last 2 minutes or so. It's been 1, 2, maybe 3 touch, get rid of the ball.
Roughnecks on the other side of the coin working very hard off the ball, holding their formation.
Yeah, their line looks pretty good right now, especially across the back. That's a brilliant ball that's played through right at the corner of the 18. Gomez, left-footed ball. Cyprian Hedrick went down to the turf to clear that one away. It wasn't going to be any trouble for Stuydejar. Volley attempt there. I think Rodrigo caught most of that in his back from Restrepo.
Yeah, Restrepo trying there's the block from Cyprian Hedrick, I think we're going to see there, but Restrepo trying an outstanding bicycle kick and kicked the player rather than the ball, but no foul. It was throw into the Roughnecks.
Well, with what's been proven so far, Dave, is that even if, and judging by what's on USLChampionship.com, and we'll come back to this in a moment, as Altamirano takes an attempt from way outside, and a great save by Cardoni. Altamirano thought that he had him on that one.
Just wonder whether the ball swerved a little bit there. I think that's a good save from Cardoni. I think we've underestimated that save. It was a good hit from Altamirano. Didn't have much of a backlift. Just see here if the ball swerves a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Good save.
A little bit more pacier, too, than we thought from the reverse angle.
He can hit a ball, Altamirano, can't he? There's the ball to the far post. But I think the pattern of the game, I think we're seeing now, aren't we, that San Antonio are going to boss the possession. They're going to have the lion's share of the possession. Roughnecks going to have to work hard off the ball and then do what they've just done with Altamirano, have the odd chance on goal. 2-1, a great game. We've seen a really good game. Two good teams wanting to play the game in the right way.
Just looking at where the standings are at the West, with Phoenix having clinched along with Fresno and Reno. So that means that the Roughnecks, after their trip to Tacoma, the 5th with Sacramento, who more than likely is going to clinch. They're going to be in this. New Mexico United still has some work to do, and Reno, who's already clinched. That they can be a thorn in the side of someone, even if they're not clinching. The website USL Championship has them at about a 1% chance of making the playoffs, but that doesn't mean that they can't cause some significant problems.
Oh yeah, any team, isn't it? Any team in you know, you look at Colorado. You were mentioning San Antonio have to go to Colorado on the last day of the season. So, you know, you just don't know. These teams that have got nothing to play for, you never know. We were talking about the other night, you go to Tacoma Defiance. What sort of team will they have for the Roughnecks on Saturday? I know they're already eliminated. So lots of twists and turns and lots of teams in and around those top 10 spots.
And with just weeks remaining, the pressure is officially on. You can tune into ESPN3 on October 2nd. As El Paso Locomotive look to secure one of the final playoff spots. Fresno FC has its sights set on hosting some playoff games. It's Locomotive FC, and the Fox is October 2nd for Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN3.
I think there's a little bit of a dilemma for Christian Altamirano, who we know is a very attacking left-hand sided midfield player for the Roughnecks, but he's having to do his defensive duties because he's got LaHood wearing 13 and Brian Gomez wearing 20, both coming down that right-hand side. And he's got to help out Luca Lobo at left back. It's going to be a high boot there. But you look at the number 20, Gomez, Pop, and the amount of space he's had. And that last attack they had, lovely threaded ball through there behind Lobo. But he's got to ask Altamirano for a little bit of help.
And there he is, back to retrieve.
Which, of course, you know, is what San Antonio wants, because they don't want the likes of Altamirano running at them. So they want him defending on the back foot.
Something that Altamirano is not necessarily known for. We've seen him capable of doing that, but here's a ball looking for Gomez. Gomez, a hard challenge right outside of the 18, and this will be a card.
Well, first of all, fantastic ball from our man Castillo. What a professional he is. That was a long raking ball. I think he might have even been his own half when he hit that ball. And I think Luca Lobo takes one for the team there. Good job from the Roughnecks point of view. It's outside the box. Heavy challenge, but you'll see here on Restrepo that's an untidy challenge, and that's you could argue kind of 1.5 yellow cards, isn't it? You know, if there's not such a thing, I know, but you know that was a tough challenge. But I think he's taken one for the team there. Brilliant ball from Castillo, though.
Gomez is up, walks it off. Lobo into the books here in the 25th. A yard outside of the 18.
Just shows you, though, Pop, doesn't it? You know, you can play all this, you know, lovely short passing and so on, but the occasional long ball hit to perfection, like Castillo there, is a real weapon.
Well, it works in two ways. You can lull your opponent to sleep at that point. As Castillo, left-footed ball curling in, it's there, and we are level at 2. An incredible strike from Rafael Castillo. And that's the brace on the night for Rafa here in the 26th. Wow.
Well, I can't wait to see the replay of this one. He's beaten Steiderheier at his near post here. Just, he couldn't have had more than a foot between the post and the ball there going in. It's an amazingly accurate hit. We'll see it here. Round the wall. Look at that. That's a fantastic hit from Castillo. Take a bow, sir. You have a brace on the night. We're back at 2-2.
The outstretched arms of Steiderheier could not get there at enough time. A wonderfully struck ball curls right inside the near post. And all square.
Yeah, Darren Powell will be saying, okay, let's start again. You're off the bus now. You're getting a 2-goal start. You're back at 2-2. And now it's game on again. But what a hit from Castillo. I don't know if we can get to see that one more time, because the accuracy, Pop, to go there, you know, yes, left-footed, and it wasn't even, you know, on the corner of the box. It was slightly even further towards the byline. So, and
what a statement for him to continue to be in this starting 11 for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, he's done everything right, hasn't he? The long ball that got the free kick, his short passing, his movement off the ball, and 2 goals. He's saying to his coach, leave me out now at your peril.
Look at it one more time as we get set for the corner from the reverse angle.
That's pretty outstanding to beat the goalkeeper from there. And Steiderheier, you know, is a good goalkeeper.
Resende, as he turned around, just had this look of bewilderment upon him.
Well, can the Roughnecks get back in the lead again from this corner? May have to do this kind of thing from corners tonight, giving up the possession.
Swinging in, and that one skips by from Toby Uzo one more time. Already has one header and a conversion on the night.
That was not far away, Pop. That was not far away at all. Great corner from Da Costa, right onto the head of that man in your frame now, Toby Uzo. As we said, it's already scored inside the first 2 minutes, and that was a header just wide of the target.
He's not hard to find in the box if you're the defense. He's the rather large man.
Yeah, he's a physical presence, isn't he, Toby Uzo?
Here he is. Cardoni easily up and has it quickly with the outlet to the opposite side of the pitch. And now they'll switch back the other direction. Restrepo cuts to the inside, dumps it off. Verano. San Antonio taking their time exhausting all options now with where they want to go. Restrepo trying to link up with Gomez. Castillo steps in front. Rafa now has some space. He's not afraid to let one go. Correct pass, though, inside the 18. Leaves it here. Cuts to the inside. Restrepo fires, and San Antonio FC has taken the lead. On a goal this time by Restrepo, and just like that, the 2-goal lead for the Roughnecks has completely evaporated.
That is another outstanding finish. He waited. You thought he'd missed his chance, but he waited again, and that man in your frame there again, take a bow, because he's just scored an absolute scorcher, and it's 3-2. We'll see on the replay here, Pop. He'll receive the ball here. Here's the first one. Does he hit it? No. Wrong foot's the defender. Still waits, and there he finishes past Steidehaar. 5 goals inside the first half an hour. And San Antonio have come back from 2-0 down to lead 3-2.
The Colombians are having their way with the Roughnecks here this evening. Walter Restrepo, also a native of Colombia, has put San Antonio FC in the lead.
Well, San Antonio have now scored 52 goals on the season. They do concede a few. So you could say they've kind of given the Roughnecks a 2-goal start, but they do score goals as well. I'm just having a look here, and in fact they've conceded 45 goals, but they've now scored 52 on the season. So quite a season for goals for San Antonio.
The second goal of the season for Restrepo, and this will be a foul.
Well, we talked in the build-up, didn't we, about what is it like to concede a goal in the 93rd minute and lose a game 1-0, having sort of held a team for that long. But I wonder how the players are feeling now. Here's the goal again. Restrepo here, look, waits. Wrong foot's the defender, waits again. You think maybe hit it there. No, waits one more touch and beats Steidehaar. Great quality finish. But, you know, how must the Roughneck players be feeling now? They were 2-0 up inside, what, 6 minutes? And here they are 3-2 down.
Long ball in the box, looking for Roberts. Out to Morado. Knocked away from him. Quickly to the opposite end, and Brian Reyes saves the day.
Yeah, helped Altamirano out there. Altamirano caught in possession, but he's got another chance thanks to the work of Reyes.
Cardoni between two Roughnecks players, Marlin and Uzo.
Yeah, Cardoni, we talk about Uzo's a big presence at 6'2", but Cardoni's a big presence as well. A great goalkeeper. We've seen him many times performing so well. Good physical presence at the back. Not afraid to tell his defenders when they've done something wrong.
San Antonio not done. Hernandez out wide. LaHood. Restrepo one more time with space from the touchline. Easy dumped ball towards the corner flag. Left-footed curler. Looking for Rafa. Just a bit of a body weight issue there with Cyprian Hedrick, and quickly to the opposite end. Here's Marlin. Out to Morado.
We're just going back to that last attack. There was the little man inside the box, Castillo again. You know, he's that holding midfield player, but he's really getting into the box. I don't know whether that's something they've, you know, spotted and said you need to do it more, because he was on 1 goal. He's now on 3 for the season. And he was in there again challenging for the ball with his head. So, you know, he's really trying to get forward tonight.
Uzo using that big frame. Will they look to play off Uzo one more time? Out to Morado. There, Resende. Galvin spins away. Reyes. Roberts. to Hedrick. Plenty of space for Sip. Sheldon almost had it knocked away from him. Now a battle won by San Antonio FC.
Yeah, good defending that. Shrugged Sheldon off, who tried to go the long way around, and now it's kind of end to end.
'35th minute.
Great game. One Oak, the place to be tonight for goals.
Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it's still great value, isn't it? And we said again, I'll say again, you know, when the Roughnecks go to Tacoma Defiance on Saturday, you can watch it all on ESPN. So really good value. Roughnecks just enjoying a little bit more possession, Pop, in the last few minutes.
I'll have to get you those numbers here at our next opportunity. There's flag is up and a foul. Marlin's okay. See here on the replay. Yep. Shoulder driven into the player.
Easy one to give, isn't it?
There are 2 other matches that are currently taking place. Atlanta and Indy are tied up at 1 at half and just underway in the second. Loudon is a 2-1 lead over Swope Park. Towards the back post. Oh, Roberts with a golden opportunity. And he took a shot to the face, and they're waving on the athletic training staff here. We'll have to see if we can see on the replay.
Well, that will be one in the English Premiership for VAR. We will get a replay. The referee doesn't. I think he's given a goal kick. There was certainly a kick, not deliberate. Well, the ball's been placed on the spot. I don't know if the referee's officially given the penalty. I think that's Luca Lobo. We'll just see here, Pop. Is there a foul? I don't think you see those given as fouls. Marlon Roberts has taken one in the face, I think. Now, is Lobo...
Has he pointed to the spot?
I haven't seen
that.
No, I think he's pointing for a goal kick.
Okay.
I think that was Lobo putting the ball on the spot. But I don't think you see those given in the box like that, rightly or wrongly.
So far tonight, possession 60% for San Antonio. On the attack, both clubs even. 5 shots and 3 apiece of those on target.
But if you look at the number of passes, Pop, 210 passes for San Antonio to 139 for the Roughnecks, which kind of goes with the 60-40 possession, of course. But they haven't given it away too much of San Antonio. But credit the Roughnecks. In the last sort of 10 minutes, they've actually put some passes together themselves.
Gomez unable to keep that one in.
So do you think if that was an English Premiership game, VAR would have given a penalty there?
You know, just about the time that I think I have a wrap on or a handle on exactly what the call would be, they go the opposite direction. I'm still a bit iffy on the offsides call.
Yeah, I'm with you.
With Tottenham. And I know that breaks your heart for that to happen to Tottenham, but
But if you're a football lover, joking us apart, you want it to be right. If it's going to enhance the game, you want VAR to be right. And I don't think the consistency is there yet. And I think it will take some time, like any new system.
You bring up a very valuable point, to me anyway, is that we're still in the infancy of this. And I know in the technology age that we're in, we want all the right answers and right away. And I want it applied correctly. But you have to know that there's going to be a few bumps in the road with the implementation of this. Do I think that that call from the Premiership last weekend was overreaching a bit for what VAR was intended to do? Absolutely. But I also know that built into this, there's going to be some bumpy patches.
Yeah, there is. And if you compare it with goal line technology is right or wrong. We've seen, by a fraction of an inch.
Liverpool and Man City last year.
There you go. A fraction of an inch, Man City get a goal at Burnley, but it was the right decision. Everybody could see it. With VAR, there's still opinion out there. And I think that's what we've got to try and get over.
Well, the NFL has had instant replay for years, and they still have issues. It will never be a perfect system. There's no such thing as a perfect system.
Another injury. There'll be a little bit of time added on. I mean, 40 minutes gone. Here's the injury. Castillo there, pleading his innocence. It's been quite a half. We had that flurry of goals, and then really, Pop, it's been an intriguing half and interesting team talks, isn't it, for both
yes, absolutely.
Coaches at half-time.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest in Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Rodrigo. Not the best effort from him. Castillo with the clearance. Lack of communication there for a minute. Reyes cleans it up. Resende. Reyes got to it. Uzo. Looked for the diagonal run. Couldn't find it in enough time. Costa was harassed from behind. If he wasn't, he might have been able to find Altamirano. Quickly to this end of the pitch comes San Antonio. Now they will pull it back a bit. Allow them to collect a few numbers. It's one of the first bad giveaways we've seen from San Antonio in a while. Altamirano.
Yeah, I can't remember another one, actually, and I was saying it earlier on the commentary. They knock it around so well. Here they come again, though.
Restrepo has a goal already here this evening. Flag is up. Marlin Roberts with Taylor. I feel like Marlin Roberts should forever be known as Johnny Amble. That is his Twitter name. Need to talk with Marlin to find the story behind that one.
He's settled in well, hasn't he, to the Roughnecks this season?
He has,
he's done extremely well, even when they were being beaten, sometimes heavily. And
I feel like this last month of the season's probably been his best soccer.
I think you're right. And him and Cyprian Hedrick have formed a good partnership. Of course, Cyprian Hedrick playing against one of his former teams, isn't he, tonight?
Yep. AJ Jakwa as well spent some time there in San Antonio, who's on the bench tonight for the Roughnecks. Everyone always has amazing things to say about San Antonio and their fans.
And they love Cyprian Hedrick still, don't
yes. Altamirano towards the byline. Tough challenge there.
And he has given a penalty.
And that is given a penalty. Out to Morado. Decided to take things into his own hands. And a penalty called. LaHood is the guilty party, and the Roughnecks now, before halftime, have a chance to make things level one more time, and here it is.
And I think, looking at it again, I think his teammates might have said, why didn't you just shepherd him out?
Yeah, it looked like his touch was heavy, Dave, and the ball was going to go over the line in the first place.
Yeah.
So maybe unnecessary contact, and now Altamirano is going to be the one to take this for the Roughnecks. Whistle was blown. Altamirano, hands on his hips. Looking, approaches, places, and makes things level at 3 here in the 45th.
Well, he made it look very simple as well to beat someone of Cardoni's class there. He just sent the big man the wrong way. There he is in the frame there. But that man in your frame, Altamirano, has brought it level. It was his run, and it was the foul from LaHood. And what a great, great time to score. Just a few seconds to go before halftime. Here's the replay pop, and just to send Cardoni, but gave him the eyes and then just taps it into an empty net. What a game of soccer we're seeing. 3-3, and we're coming up to halftime.
Goal 7 on the season for Altamirano. That ties him with Luca Lobo now for 7. That is the second leading goal scorer behind the 9 from DaCosta.
Altamirano's had a good half. We said, you know, defensively he's got to do a little bit more, but it's tough because he's an attacking player, and that's kind of why we've seen the goals, because there's so many great attacking players on this soccer field from both teams.
You just never know from one night to the next. 6 goals here in the first 45. And we're not done. Rafa. Sheldon hammers it. Trying to keep it in play, unable to do so. There are 2 balls on the pitch at the same time. San Antonio tried to go early.
And Pop, I want to tell you another statistic. The last time the Roughnecks scored more than 2 goals, we'll come back to it in a minute.
Yeah, because Rafael Castillo is not done. Bump there, and he is up.
And to be fair to him, didn't make anything of that, didn't appeal for the penalty. True professional, runs back. Last time the Roughnecks scored more than 2 goals was when they beat Tacoma Defiance 4-0 way back on March the 23rd.
That's a long time ago. That's the 4th game of the season.
I can't quite believe my own statistic there, actually, looking at that. But yeah, that's true. 3-3. What a great second half we got in store.
Fireworks here in the 9-1-8. And it's not even a weekend match where we typically have fireworks after the game. But we've had plenty of them so far. Tied up at 3 at half. Oh boy, do we have some storylines to get to and to recap the first half here in Tulsa. 3 apiece between the Roughnecks and San Antonio FC. We'll take a timeout and come back after this word from our sponsors.
My name's Sean Riley. I'm a practicing chiropractor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been fortunate to practice for 19 years, owner-operator of the integrated facility Tulsa Spine and Rehab. This is what sets us apart at Tulsa Spine and Rehab. Integrated care. We have multiple different providers providing multiple different options for multiple different types of conditions. We have a concise treatment plan. What that means is it's not going to be open-ended. We're going to make specific recommendations. We're going to get you feeling better as quickly as we possibly can. And lastly, we're going to get you, the patient, on board with your treatment. What that means is we want to get you involved. We want to get you doing home exercise. We want you modifying activity. And what that means is we're going to try to keep you out of this office. Ultimately, we want to get you moving.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
What does it take to be a champion? Skill, strength, vision, an unrelenting desire to prove your worth week in, week out. An army of fans behind you screaming your name. And sometimes just a bit of luck. For 631 games over the course of the next 9 months, 22 players will step on the field to answer the question, why will it be you and not them? And the 36 teams, from the champions of yesterday to the challengers of tomorrow, only one will be right.
So go with the left foot, Jamal Johnson. What a goal! Perfectly placed.
And to splice this New York defense with a curling effort. That's incredible! What a goal by Nine!
Johnson, though, going to hurry things up. Tenorio giving a blast. Goal! Clever will take a shot. He fires it home for a classic.
Cicerone to the back post. Sliding it in. What a start for St. Louis. Tyler
Wharton and Espria in it as well. Williamson strikes and puts it in, a fourth for T2 on a beautiful strike.
Asante saved by Cochran.
And a save by Morton.
Through and a diving stop.
Punched away by Laurel. Follow. Kick save Laurel. And this.
It's a hammer. Oh, that's an important intervention by Logan Ketterer.
Knocked on. Clouds fires. And back of the net. Paul Clouds. Find one here. Ball swept in. Headed on, up and in, and just like that, Toronto answers.
Ball played forward up the side. Boone trying to drop it back. Tries the left-footed shot and finds the back of the net. Nick Boone in stoppage time in the first half, breaking the deadlock.
Rayo now for Rodriguez, going for that top corner. What a save by Silvestre. Through the midfield for Richmond. Calls for Wheeler Amanu, and a shot saved by Fitzgerald. Still around the box for Chattanooga. The shot by Caparelli's pushed aside by Herrera. Austin Amer.
And I'm gonna chase it. And I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it. No matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it. And I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it. No matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain. Breaking all the rules to keep me sane. Living the moment till I die. And I'm gonna chase it. And I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it. No matter how hard we try.
Hi Roughnecks fans! Stop by and see our awesome team at the 21st and Yellow location. We have your free Roughnecks shirts, the latest phones, and we offer Amazon Prime free on select plans. Come and see us.
All right, welcome back to downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field. Let's take a look at the storylines for the Tulsa Roughnecks. How about that heartache on Saturday night? Dave Saunders, the Roughnecks seemingly put that out of reach here with the opening minutes and scoring 2 goals in 6 minutes, but sometimes they call soccer the cruelest game ever. And I think that was a prime example of that on Saturday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. 3 minutes added on. They concede, what, 3:34 on the clock. So a little bit hard done by, but they needed to pick themselves up. And a lot's happened since then, Pop. So 3-3 here at halftime.
How about Fresno upsetting Phoenix to end their 20-match winning streak? And in that game, there were actually 2 penalty kick saves by C.J. Cochran from Fresno FC.
Brilliant. Well done, Fresno. We saw them here. The Roughnecks beat them, and then they go up. They beat Phoenix. Congratulations to Phoenix on that amazing run, 20-game run, and they're going to be there or thereabouts, aren't they, to win this league? But Fresno still playing well.
And then we talked about this one last as we look at the standings, and we'll weave this one in with what we were going to talk about. There you see 1 through 10 out west with Phoenix, Fresno, and Reno already securing a spot. But 1 through 14, Dave, we brought this up. 1 through 14, that means Las Vegas is currently sitting there in that 14th spot with 35 points. San Antonio, as of tonight is right there at 39 with El Paso Locomotive with 39. So that means that even 14 is just 4 points out from finding themselves in 10th right now out west.
Which is why the playoffs are such a great thing, aren't they? Because it gives a lot of teams interest. And let's not underestimate, this is a big, big second half for San Antonio, Pop.
It is a very big half for San Antonio as we roll to the east with 5 teams that have clinched: New York, Indy, Tampa Bay, Nashville, and Pittsburgh, who recently just punched their ticket. Louisville, 2-time defending champs, are there. They will be in here along with North Carolina FC, Ottawa, St. Louis. It's good to see our former friends here from the West in St. Louis FC find their way in there at the number 9 spot, with Birmingham currently in the 10th and final spot there in the East. All right, as we roll along here at halftime, great shot of downtown Tulsa. Let's look at your championship team of the week here in week 29. CJ Cochran is there off of those 2 penalty kick saves. Not just that, he technically had 3 over the last week, did CJ Cochran. Michael Orozco, who we saw here with that late game winner, in which he passed halfway, dropped the ball off for Coleman. You can add Hernandez to that list from Swope Park, and Malik Johnson as well from Tampa Bay Rowdies. And Chavez there, he wins player of the week by 55% over Kleber from Austin, who finished with 40% of the vote. And Kleber had a hat trick in the last week, so congratulations to Chavez, who has scored 13 goals so far on the season. And now we roll into League One and their team of the week. And you see Christian Diaz there from Madison FC. He completed 6 of 7 dribbles, won a lot of duels in that. They got a big victory over North Texas SC. And finally, the player of the week, Paul Claus. And he had a goal and assist as Triumph SC, a big 3-1 victory over Toronto FC2 on Friday night, which moved that club closer to clinching a place in the League One playoffs next month. So congratulations to him. Let's take a look at some highlights from the first half, Dave, because we had quite the back and forth, and things got started early. Here's the first goal. Watch this ball from Morado, and he finds Uzo.
Yeah, beautiful. Within 2 minutes, and Uzo will lap that up all day. Look at this ball from Morado. Pinpoint, that's what your striker wants, and they practice that in training. Great finish from Uzo.
Roughnecks weren't done because we moved forward just a couple of minutes. And here's goal number 2 on the night.
Yeah, nutmegs Castillo there, and Marlin says gratefully, I'll come on to that. No chance for Cardoni. And at that point, San Antonio weren't off the bus, were they?
They were not, but they did have a response. One more look at it here from Marlin. That was just 6 minutes into tonight's match. And before you knew it, San Antonio was able to pull back 1, and here's their first goal of the night.
Well, watch this skill from Castillo. Down, bang. And that's 2-1, and that guy has had a great half. Just watch this first touch here. Touch, and then what a great finish. Spinning and turning, and he's been attacking. And then Morado had that shot. That's a good save from Cardoni. Ball was swerving. Then the foul from Lowe gets the yellow card, and look at that for a free kick, Pop. That's perfection.
That made it level at 2. Rafael Castillo with the brace on the evening. San Antonio wasn't done in the first half either. We'll have a look at goal number 3 from them, this time from Restrepo.
Yep, outstanding skill from Restrepo. You just wonder whether he'd taken it too much and he just had to wait and waited again. Here he is, and he hadn't outdone himself, because there is a strong finish past Steidehaar, and that was 3-2.
And here is the penalty. Morado draws the foul in the box. Referee points to the PK, and Morado converts, and that gives us our score here at halftime, level at 3, and ready to go for the second half.
Yeah, just going back to that penalty, I think LaHood will be disappointed he didn't just, as I said in commentary, shepherd him out. He just had nowhere to go, Morado, and he just dove into the challenge, and that's what produced the correct decision from the referee. 3-3. So is it going to be just played out to a 3-3 draw? I don't think so. I think we got more goals in this.
I was going to ask if you had enough energy for the next 45. Because I don't know about you, but that was a lot in the first half.
It certainly was. I mean, 6 goals. You don't see that very many times, do you? 6 goals in a half. But I'll say again, Pop, you know, that statistic, and you and I were so surprised we had to check it, but that is the first time since, what, March the 23rd that the Roughnecks have scored more than 2 goals.
And you were correct on that. Not that you would ever be incorrect.
Oh,
but we do like to
times.
go back and double check our work at times, like math class.
But just, you know, it was so such a stunning statistic, really. You know, you have to go back. But that's not to say they you know, they've scored twice a number of times, but they just haven't got 3. So they have now. Now can they get a 4th and win it, or is San Antonio coming into town to take all 3 points?
There are 3 matches this evening. Atlanta currently leading Indy 2-1. That's in the 73rd. Loudon now has a 3-1 lead over Swope Park Rangers in the 76th. That is 3-1 as well. And here, both teams with a 3 on the board this evening. Poorly hit ball from Steinhardt. Castillo. Looking for the header that was there just over the top of the outstretched Gomez.
And to be fair to Matt Sheldon, that's a pretty good challenge on him, actually. You know, just to put him off a little bit, or he would have had a free header. So I think this is going to be an intriguing half here. One Oak, as we said in the first half, the place to be for goals. Sometimes, you know, you get a fantastic first half and then you don't see much happen in the second, but you just feel with all the attacking players on the field, there's more to come in this game. And San Antonio, and the Roughnecks for that matter, will not want to play out a draw. 1 point is no good to either team.
Cardoni. Hacked down by Rodrigo da Costa. However, San Antonio comes away with possession here. Challenged, though, by the Roughnecks. Marlin thinks that this will actually be out on San Antonio. That does him no good. Or actually, it does. He actually ends up winning the throw-in. Can Marlin run onto it? No, he cannot. Shielded off of the ball there by Kai Green. As we mentioned in the opening moments of the broadcast, Green and Yarrow have played every minute so far this season for San Antonio. DaCosta, left-footed ball, strike, and it just sails past.
Well, that's what he can do for you, DaCosta. He didn't have too many touches of the ball a few days ago against Orange County, but look at this skill. This is what he can bring you. Into on his left foot, not afraid to do it. Cardoni diving, no chance of getting on it, but it's a good yard wide, but that's what he can do, and he plays with both feet. That's a curling left footer from DaCosta.
Rough challenge there.
Yeah, referee counting up. He says enough is enough. That was your 4th foul. Tony Taylor, you'll be in the book.
Victor Rivas, our referee here this evening. So Taylor in the books here in the 50th.
Just wonder whether we might see Mr. Guzman at some point.
And then another foul is out to Morado is down. This is just in front of the Roughnecks bench.
Certainly the subs are warming up, Pop. Darren Powell's got them all up. We'll want to make some changes, I'm sure, at some stage in this half.
No movement so far from the Roughnecks perspective. Grilling ball there, Marlin just dipped over the top of him. Cardoni now makes accidental contact with Malin Roberts, and San Antonio wants to get Roberts away from Cardoni as quickly as possible.
I think that's all purely accidental.
I'm with you on that.
I don't think, and to be fair, I don't think Cardoni's made anything of it. I think it's defenders running in.
And if we see differently here in the replay, we'll make sure to mention it. But just from the initial contact of it, I don't think there was anything that was meant to be on purpose.
It's a good take from Cardoni. He read it really well. But I don't think there was anything. The referee's given a free kick, and I think he calmed that down pretty well. And it's not been that kind of game at all, has it? I mean, it's
no, it hasn't. And quite frankly, I don't have any problem with San Antonio trying to protect their keeper either.
Right.
Hernandez looking for Rafa. Steidehar's long forward ball. Marlin just maybe one step in front of him.
High pressure from the Roughnecks here, trying to force San Antonio into a corner.
This is really the first moment of that we've seen so far here this evening. And this will go into the books as well.
Castillo.
That's Castillo, yes.
Just slightly late, I think, there, Pop. Again, I don't think it's malicious. I don't think he's trying to hurt the player.
Cyprian now is trying to point out another instance. See, they're holding up two fingers. Referee tonight, Rivas, explaining back to Cyprian. Going to welcome the trainer on now. This is Reyes. He's holding the back of that right leg. See if we can see here exactly. Tough to tell from there. Tough to see whether did Rafa get his boot up there a little bit into the back of the leg.
I think that's probably what I would conclude. Reyes doesn't mind putting in a challenge or two.
No,
in
he
midfield
sure
either.
doesn't.
But he's on the receiving end there, and he's clearly hurt. I don't think he's one to roll around, so he's clearly hurt.
Yellow card tonight brought to you by Oil Fire Whiskey. Here in the 54th minute. So it's been quite the night for Rafa Castillo. 2 goals and add a yellow to that mix. And now is Reyes going to be able to walk this off, and is he going to be okay once he gets to the sideline? Because there has been absolutely no one up until this very moment, where we finally started to see some movement. That's Manny Gonzales that is up.
Well, Manny Gonzales would be the ideal replacement, wouldn't he? Because he plays in that role.
Yeah, that's Jeff Adai as well. That got up off the bench.
Jeff Adai started off the season in there as well, didn't he? Hasn't been favoured as of late.
Yeah, just as he was coming off the pitch, Donovan Ricketts got up and said, all right, we need 2 guys. Start getting loose. That chance goes by the wayside. There's Jeff Adai. Early stages of warming up. And now they'll call them back into the bench area with it, since Reyes looks like he's okay. Interesting, because I feel like that we're about in that 5-minute window there where we've typically seen Michael Insian go to the bench. Here's Marlin. Step over, left-footed ball, square. There in the box, DaCosta had a chance, biked away. And now Tulsa will reset.
Fair play to the home side. They've really taken this game to San Antonio in this second half.
Oh, brilliant move there. DaCosta continuing on his run. Altamirano, the shot. So that has been an absolute skills clinic from not only DaCosta, but Marlin in that mix, as those two almost single-handedly put together that attack.
I think we're going to see a change from Darryl Powell's men in just a moment.
Since Skyward here in the center circle. Settled down by Gomez, keeps it alive on Castillo, and the flag is up on the far side of the pitch.
But there's Castillo again, attacking player. There he is in your shot. He's got bundles of energy, isn't he? Up and down, box to box, as we say. 2 goals on the night.
That'll be Guzman that is getting set to come in.
And he is a quality act. And I think that will be a straight swap up front, I would imagine, for Taylor, unless Darren Powell wants to go 2 up top. But with all the attacking players, I would have thought it'll be a like-for-like swap. He's a great player, Guzman.
Yeah, Guzman has 5 goals so far in his 21 appearances so far this season. It's been a while, though, since June 8th, since he has found the back of the net.
Resende there winning the corner. He's had a decent game. Again, one of those players you don't always see, like the Altamiranos and the Marlins of this world, but he does his job. He's done well. Come in for Manny Gonzales today, and he's done a good job in there. Wins the corner.
Out to the top of the box, that should be a hand.
Yeah, and as we thought, Pop, it is a straight swap. Guzman will come on for Taylor up top.
Maybe a bit of a disappointing night for Taylor. Didn't have much of the ball this evening.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of the ball, as you said. Not easy for him tonight in this crazy game of 6 goals, all in the first half.
'22nd appearance now for Guzman on the year.
The Roughnecks have definitely changed their style. In the fact that Marlon has been signed and Altamirano's playing so well, playing well up on those wings, Matt Sheldon and Luca Lobo do not venture as far forward as they used to at the beginning of the season.
No, that was a staple to their attack. Altamirano. That patented move where he tries to cut back towards the byline. That's consistent in his bag of tricks. Roberts just in front of Guzman.
Yeah, and Pirano has not had as much as he would have liked tonight either. Had a reasonable first half, but he's a bit like a DaCosta, isn't he? You want him on the ball if you're a San Antonio fan.
Driven ball settled Marlin. First touch though, however, finds Gomez. Yarrow. Akon. Good ball over the top from Castillo, just a bit much as Steidehardt there to receive it.
I think Brian Reyes, I'm just keeping my eye on him, Pop. I think he's struggling a bit after he got that tackle. He's trying to run it off. I think the Roughnecks will keep an eye on that.
Danger here. San Antonio with an opportunity, and the flag is up.
Yeah, I think you could see that was the right decision. Ball was rolling, going to have to retake that one. And now the ball's too far forward, so we'll take it again. And now we've got a player on the pitch as well who needs some attention.
Yeah, they're going to welcome the athletic trainer on to the far end. He has his boot off and tape off, so this is the goal scorer, Restrepo.
Yeah,
and it looks like they're going to have to do a change for him.
Certainly having some attention at the moment, isn't he? Roughnecks getting a little bit of liquid on board. You just see Brian Reyes there running over, just limping slightly, and I think he's talking to his coach and the trainer there.
Well, that was the big question when you saw Adai and Gonzales get up. And Reyes went back out there to play, and you had wondered at that point, okay, is he going to be 100%? And if he's still showing signs, you got to wonder if he's going to make it the entire way tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly limping around the field at the moment. Got to be careful.
So San Antonio will play a man down here for a few moments. 63rd. That one stopped like a magnet looking for Toby Uzo. And if it was not for Yarrow, Uzo would have had a chance for his own brace.
Castillo breaking things up there.
Gomez.
I think you have to be impressed with the Roughnecks here in this second half, Pop. I mean, their heads could have gone down. Okay, they got the 3-3 just before half-time with the Altamirano penalty, but, you know, they've really taken this game to San Antonio.
Cardoni. See if we can't get an updated look at what that possession rate looks like between the two. Slicing through the middle of the pitch. Good challenge there by Marlin Roberts. Hernandez, though, to Gomez, and Hernandez keeps the run alive. Right outside of the 18, cuts back to the inside. Challenge there from Marlin, just enough to enable the Roughnecks to clear it out of play.
I think Jeff Adai is going to come on, and I'm sure that's going to be for Brian Reyes. Here's the ball, raking ball to the far side as San Antonio look to try and get the 7th goal in this game and go ahead. That's Castillo with a shot, but that's going to be well wide of the target. And I think we're going to see Jeff Adai. Yeah, here he is, and Manny Gonzales. So I wonder if is Coach Hensey going to replace both central midfield players?
Possession, by the way, has dropped. San Antonio at 54 now, 45% for the Roughnecks. Yeah, this is the rare double for Michael Incian.
Yeah, you just wonder, Resende's had a pretty good game in there. Just wonder whether he's a little bit tired. 65 minutes gone, 25 minutes to go. Brave substitutions from the home coach here.
And a throw in now. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy.
Brian Reyes, unsurprisingly, is going off. Did receive that challenge from Castillo earlier on, which I think has put paid to his night here, limping off there. They'll need a bit of attention. So Jeff Adai will come on, and it is Resende. So the two central midfield players being replaced in a brave move by the man who was just in your frame there, Coach Hensian.
Manny Gonzales, we've talked about it quite a bit over the last several games. We feel like that his play has been elevated as of late.
There's Jeff Adai. Good to see him back, the number 6. Does a lot of that unsung hero work in the midfield. Tries to break things up. Similar to what Reyes does. Good to see him back.
Manny Gonzales, this will be 25th appearance for him. Has played over 1,500 minutes. Has 1 assist so far. And Jeff Adai, appearance 22. Out to Morado. Following his boot. Nice touch there to Uzo. Uzo trips. Still the ability to get the shot off. It comes off of the defender. Or at least I thought that it did, and now they will say it's a goal kick.
I thought that was good, honest play from Big Toby Uzo up front there, because he was fouled, but he carried on. You'll see him here just get fouled. Close attention there, but gets up and says, go on, I'll carry on. So nice to see that in the game of soccer.
68th minute.
Still very difficult to predict which way this game's going to go, isn't it, Pop? All 3 results really possible here.
Driven ball to the corner on a dead run. Received there. Steidehar comes out. Good help on the backside, and the defense that continued to hustle back. Incredible effort there from the Roughnecks back line with Luca Lobo, making sure that he was able to get back in the right position and help out, because Restrepo was in a place where he was looking for his second.
Yeah, Restrepo looking down at the sod there, I think. You'll see it there. Good block in the end from Lobo. Corner. Castillo with it.
Punched away. DaCosta. Cardoni had to make a decision, and make a decision quickly. And how about that? Finds Restrepo. Lays it off for Castillo. The blast with the left foot. Sent well wide and over the top of the bar. And a chance there from San Antonio is sent in a direction in which they wish they had that one back.
Yeah, I think he maybe could have taken a touch there, but Castillo going for his hat trick there, going for glory.
Adai. Hedrick. Gonzales. Good ball from Roberts to find DaCosta. Good work there defensively by Kai Green. Taken away. Out to Morano. Working against Green. Uzo trying to post up. Uses his body, turns. And that's twice now that Toby Uzo has caught that ball in the same area, Dave. just that simple little touch to clear himself, and he's given himself 2 opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to say the dress rehearsal came a minute or so ago. That was a good effort, a yard or so wide. Cardoni pleased to see that one go past his left post. 3-3, great game.
You know, the way Uzo does that with all of his weight pressed against the defender, that touch that he has with his right foot is so key, because as he's leading back into it, he drops his left foot back. That's what enables that ball from the right foot all the way across his body to put himself in position. It's been an effective move.
It's a great skill, and you know, he's 6'2", he's a big guy, and to be able to get into that position, hold the defender off, which he does. And can I just say that Jeremy Poplin has demonstrated that in
I don't know
the
why I'm doing
box.
that. The camera's not on me.
Great. It's very good, though, Pop.
I do that during my radio show all the time, and I look around and no one's in the room with me. So I do apologize.
No, it was great. I enjoyed it. It was
we need a behind-the-scenes
good demonstration.
Cut here.
But no, I take your point entirely. Uzo has worked hard. He holds off. He's improved over the season. Credit the coach. I mean, coaches improve players.
72nd minute.
Just wondering whether the referee could have just allowed the advantage there, because Manny Gonzales had the ball in acres of space in the center circle.
That's a tough foul there directly in front of the Roughnecks bench. Everyone was up. Be another yellow added.
Castillo's just having a word with the young referee, but I think he's refereed this pretty well. That was a challenge, I think, that warranted a yellow card. I never quite understand what players are trying to say to the referee after a yellow card's been brandished. He isn't going to change his mind. It's never happened.
So in the books, another yellow for San Antonio FC. Didn't quite see, I believe that might have been awarded there to... Now, it couldn't have been LaHood, could it have?
Well, I don't think so, because he's already... I think he's only had one foul on the night, hasn't he? But he wasn't carded, was he, for the penalty? Introduction of the Englishman, Barmby. Good player.
Ah, you make that sound so good. His last name. I could not do that name justice.
Well, I'll tell you why, because his father is a very famous ex-professional in England, Nicky Barmby. Spurs fans will remember him from a few years back. Played for England, I think, 23 times. Nicky Barmby now a first-team coach at Scunthorpe in League One up there in the north of England. And here's his son getting a chance to put his stamp on the game.
Well, if you would have told me at halftime, Dave, that we would still be scoreless in this half by the time we got to the 75th, I would have thought you might have been a tad bit crazy.
Well, I agree with you, but sometimes that does happen. You get a flurry of goals and then both teams settle down. But it wouldn't be a disaster if San Antonio go away from here with a point. Obviously, they would love to dearly snatch this one and get the 3. I think if you're the Roughnecks at this stage of the season, Pop, a point, having been 2-0 up, would leave you a little bit hollow. You know, they've got not a lot to play for. They're not eliminated from the playoffs, but it's, like you say, a 1% chance, I think, has been predicted. They want the 3 points here.
Well, how about this area in which the foul was levied against San Antonio, just about a yard off of the 18. Very dangerous spot.
Well, we know Manny Gonzales can hit them, and he stood there with Morado just out of your shot there. Player stood on the line. Which prompts a couple of players to go right in front of the keeper.
The shot that's driven there, just wide. Cardoni with the outstretched arms. Morado misses, but not by much.
He's disappointed to have missed the target. That's good play from the Roughnecks standing in front of the keeper there, because you saw that late. I don't know if that's wise defending to have a player back there on the line, but I guess it helps out if you can head it off the line.
Here comes Fredlin Mompremier on for Marlin, whose night is finished.
Yeah, Marlin got his goal earlier on, didn't he? Hasn't quite had so many touches of the ball that he probably would have liked. So Mompremier, we'll see what he can do.
Marlin's goal in the 6th. Stidehar cleans it up.
Well, that's real good.
How about that skill from Rodrigo?
Wow.
To find Morado. Good challenge there from Kiger. Nothing wrong with that in the center of the pitch.
Yeah, good challenge.
Restrepo runs over the back there of Luca Lobo.
Yeah, as I said earlier on, Lobos had to do a lot more defending in the second half of the season. Easy one for the referee to give, running back towards goal. The Roughnecks will be absolutely desperate not to give a late goal away here tonight.
The die settles Malin Roberts. Mompremier has his hand raised here to the near side. He was calling for a ball played into his area. Roberts now will have to go all the way back. Gives me a chance to tell you that there's just a couple of weeks remaining and the pressure is officially on. You can tune into ESPN3 on October 2nd. El Paso Locomotive look to secure one of the final playoff spots, while Fresno FC has its sights set on hosting some more games. It's Locomotive FC and the Foxes, October 2nd. And the game of the week. Shot there from Morado finds Cardoni.
Well, Altamirado's had a great game, hasn't he? I mean, every time he gets the ball, he's looking to take players on. He's looking to curl shots in to goal. You know, he's just had one of his best games for the Roughnecks.
By the way, that game of the week is Wednesday night on ESPN3. Gonzales with the shot. Cardoni with the big save.
Well, you could see Manny Gonzales receive the ball and just line up his sights. And then a wonderful shot. And the referee, I think, Pop, there's some weather. And I think the referee's going to take the players off the field here. But what a shot from Gonzales.
You see there from the reverse angle, it looked like it dipped. And they got a piece, the lower part of the arm. And yes, there has been some flashes of lightning here over the past couple of moments. I'll check the radar here.
It's frustrating for the players with, you know, just over 10 minutes to go, but safety first for everybody concerned. Absolutely correct, and the referee's going by protocol here, and that is the correct decision. And we will be able to show you, I'm sure, some of the highlights, and yeah, we can hear the thunder now. Frustrating for everybody in, you know, what was going to be a grandstand finish, and will have to be finished at some later time, hopefully this evening.
Well, and just looking at the radar here briefly, this has really kind of popped up out of nowhere. Now, from our location in downtown Tulsa, the weather is south of where we're at. But with the lightning within a certain vicinity, then they do have to pull all the players off. But yeah, the flashes that you're seeing in the background are well south of where the stadium is at. But protocol, safety, that's paramount. And they're going to take everyone off the pitch here with things level at 3.
Yeah, as I said, it's a shame because it
seemed like momentum was starting to turn Tulsa's way, and it really felt like that. San Antonio was on the back foot here over the last 5 minutes.
I think so, and it's difficult now for the players and the coaches because you know there's only 10 minutes left in the game. You've got to sit everybody down, calm them all down, and then they're going to have to come out, warm up again, stretch, and then play out the last 10 minutes. Frustrating for everybody, but the right decision, of course, was safety. But as you say, Pop, it might just favor San Antonio slightly more than the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to reset, kind of regroup for a few moments from there as everyone has made their way off. And as we stated, that storm just kind of came out of nowhere. That is south of our location by about 15 miles is where, according to the radar that we have here inside the booth. There are a few intermittent drops of rain that are starting to fall. As a matter of fact, one just fell inside our booth right now at this very moment, with the score tied at 3. So I tell you what, Dave, we'll step away as well for a few moments. We'll come back, have an update for you on when these teams are close to coming back out on the pitch, and you can officially reset the clock with that flash that you just saw in the background. Tied up at 3, we are in a lightning delay in downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field between San Antonio and the Tulsa Roughnecks. All right, and welcome back to downtown Tulsa, where we have been in approximately about a 53-minute lightning delay here this evening at One Oak Field, as the teams have made their way back out onto the pitch, currently in their respective sides of each half, warming up. And this is a 15-minute period of warm-ups, which have already been taking place now for close to 10 minutes. There are a few drops of rain that are falling, but it's been intermittent, really, as far as the rain is concerned. You see there some of the raindrops that are falling in front of the lights here in downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field. But this was a situation in which the players were removed off of the field due to lightning in the area. It was a very quick storm that popped up, Dave Saunders, and it was lightning that was south of the stadium in a city that's called Broken Arrow here, just to the opposite side of Tulsa. But both teams out, and in this over 50-minute plus delay, one of the discussions that we've had is how both teams respond in coming out, getting warmed up in this final 10-minute push to close out this match here that is tied up at 3. Because when we left, it really seemed like that the Roughnecks had taken control of this, not only from a possession side of things, but really all the momentum was on their side.
Yeah, and I think there's two things to say. And the first one is to take your point there that we were discussing off air, that, you know, the Roughnecks were on top. And I think this will have suited San Antonio much more. I'm sure Darren Powell would have sat them down and said, look, what's gone has gone. We've got an opportunity here to regroup. And now, Pop, the second thing to say is it's in effect 0-0, and it's a 10-minute game, and that is it. And there's Michael Ensign just thinking, no doubt, you know, nearly 3 hours ago his side were 2-0 up. Here they are at 3-3. And so, in effect, now it's a 10-minute game. And I think this is a vital 10 minutes for both teams. As I said earlier in commentary, if it ends up a tie, I think the Roughnecks will feel a little bit hollow from this because they were 2-0 up. If you're San Antonio, you're desperate to win this game and go away with 3 points.
Well, how did we get here? Tied up at 3. Well, it was quite the first half. And the highlights from the first half, and it did not take very long at all. As a matter of fact, second minute, Dave. And Toby Uzo finds the back of the net.
Yeah, and what impresses me here, Toby Uzo gets in between the two centre-backs. There he is, look, in between the two white shirts. And that's quality striking. Don't forget a quality assist as well from Altamirano.
The Roughnecks weren't done because just a mere 4 minutes later, in the 6th minute, Rodrigo da Costa, on a nice ball played into the box, finds Marlin. And the Roughnecks are off to the races. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and Marlon was the most alert out of all of the players there because it was a little bit lucky. It went through Castillo's legs, but Marlon was onto it, his 4th goal. He's since been substituted, but he's had a good night. And that was 2-0 after, 6 minutes?
And San Antonio gets on the board for the very first time. How about that turn there from the Colombian?
Yeah, that's
Rafael Castillo.
That's just quality, isn't it? Here you'll see the first touch here, and then just a wonderful spin and finish, and that was 2-1.
Tough tackle here, which sets up this free kick again from Rafa, and he beats Steinhardt to the near post.
That's just quality. There he is, his second of the night, and that's a great left-footed curveball. I said in commentary, he didn't have a lot to aim at there.
So at that point, we're level at 2. Restrepo gets in on the mix. One defender goes flying by, and then beats Steinhardt. At that point, San Antonio had battled back 3 straight goals to take the lead.
Yeah, I like the way he just held on to the ball here, right to the last here. Didn't panic, went round Marlon Roberts, the last defender. And at that point, you know, the heads could have gone down, but no, back came Altamirano.
And maybe a questionable decision there from the defender. LaHood and Altamirano in the 43rd converts on the penalty, and that gives us our score of 3-3 here after a rain delay. Not much as far as real opportunities in the second half until about, the final 10 minutes of real time and play that we saw. Most of those came from the Roughnecks side, which goes back to our point about momentum being on their side. But with that delay, find out now what happens tactically between these two teams. It's difficult. When you come out, you're in game mode, you go into the locker room for an extended break, and then you have to come out and get the juices flowing again. It's almost like you have to recreate that energy.
You have to, and that's why they give the players that 15-minute warm-up, because, I mean, in effect, the players have sat in the locker rooms for the whole half and more of a game of soccer, haven't they? 50 minutes. So it's not easy, this, at all, for the players, but they'll want to get on with this now, and the referee will blow the whistle, and as we said, it's in effect, it's a 10-minute game. Who has got a no golden goal, of course. It is, you know, we play out this 10 minutes plus any extra time. So may the best team win and the best prepared team for this 10 minutes, or is it going to be won by a piece of luck?
All eyes here on the 918. Final match of the night. Earlier today, it was Atlanta beating Indy 2-1, and then also Loudon beat Swope Park 4-1 there. And this game has some important aspects to it involving playoff positioning, specifically for San Antonio. And the rest of their schedule looks like this for San Antonio. And why this is also important, Dave, for them to come away with a point is the road has not been the kindest place in the world to San Antonio over the stretch of the entire season. But with showing signs here, for instance, going back, you know, they did get a win at El Paso. That's back in July. Got the draw at Orange County. But here as of late on the road, not necessarily the most friendly place to them, and they would like to be able to pull another point coming out before they finish out the season. This is a 2-match stretch in 4 days. They go back home to play Fresno before 2 trips on the road to Las Vegas and at Portland before they come back home to Toyota to finish up with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC.
Yeah, Colorado Switchbacks FC already eliminated from the playoffs. We know that, so they'll have pretty much nothing to play for. But as you say, Pop, Fresno, second place, having just beaten Phoenix. That's not going to be easy. And then they go to Vegas and Portland Timbers too. So they'll want to get something from this game. They would take a point just about, but they are pretty desperate, I think, to get this 4th goal and try and see out the game and go away with the 3 points.
Max points available for San Antonio FC is 53. Their magic number is 16 points. USLChampionship.com has them at about a 75% clip as far as odds are concerned of making the playoffs. They're projected right now to finish in that 9th spot for them. And this has been a difficult road. That game with Portland Timbers 2 is currently in 12th with 38. That's a doozy coming up for them. The Roughnecks, by the way, after tonight will go on the road at Tacoma. That's also this Saturday. Then come back home for 3 home matches to close out the season: Sacramento, New Mexico, and Reno.
Just wondering whether Ryan Rochandel there, the number 88, came on, Pop, in effect at the start of this 10-minute period. I don't think he was on the field. Was he before?
No, he was not.
So I think he's going to be in. So Darren Powell's certainly going for this. There's a real conversation here with the centre referee, Cyprian Hedrick there. The 2 captains there, Lahoud, I think it is, down there. So the referee's just explaining, I don't know what he's got to explain. It's 10 minutes and it's basically 3-3. So we will see what's going to go on the next 10 minutes.
I think Ryan Rochandel is one of just 3 players that has made an appearance now in every single year in the 4 years that San Antonio has been here in USL in the championship. Going to refer to as a player coach. And you can see now that, you know, Darren Powell shouting out some final instructions there for San Antonio. This will be a 10-minute sprint here, plus with stoppage time added on. Trying to fit this one in here on a late Wednesday night now in Tulsa. Yeah, there's the official mark on the substitution for Rochandel.
And I think it's Castillo who's gone off. Castillo, that'll be a corner.
Oh, there's a mistake, yeah, by Cardoni, and this is a chance for the Roughnecks here as we get back underway.
So you'd say probably Rochandel, you know, in the midfield there. Castillo certainly had a great game, but he's taken no further part in this one. Roughnecks have the first chance here.
Hand is raised, ball swinging away, kept alive by Rodrigo, now out of the 18. And here comes San Antonio. Barmby got the initial touch. Restrepo had that one knocked away. Guzman showing some signs of press, and then a giveaway from the back line.
Yeah, it's a good corner that came in, well defended by San Antonio. A bit of a shaky start from them, just a mistake at the back there, giving the corner, but nothing doing from it. Kudos as well to the crowd that have stuck around. I know some people have gone, younger families and so on, but well done to the faithful few who stood on here to see the conclusion of this one.
Guzman there working against two defenders. Restrepo settled there in the center of the pitch, one touch. Left off, and that will be a foul almost. Well, not quite in the middle of the pitch, but just to the right. Just right outside the D.
Yeah, good refereeing this, because the foul happens here, and yet he just let it go here because Barmby had the ball here. Was there any advantage? No, he's saying free kick, and it's in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, that was LaHood that was on the ground.
LaHood will be desperate, won't he, to make up for that tackle on Altamirano, which brought us to 3-3 just before half-time. Seems like hours ago now, my friend. Big moment in the game then. It's just right on the D, isn't it?
Right now, currently a six-man wall for the Roughnecks. Yeah, that ball is resting just right on the edge of it. Pivotal moment, Restrepo. And that one sent over the top of the bar.
Yeah, good yard or so over. And Roughnecks will be pleased to have got away with that one. No save for Stuydehaar. You'll see here Barmby there with the left foot, just a yard or so over.
Just continue to rise as it eclipsed the Tulsa wall. 83rd minute. Mistake there by Stuydehaar. Gives a throw in front of the Roughnecks bench. And the last thing that you want now, Dave, is to make a catastrophic mistake from either team.
You don't want to be the one, do you?
Thought that that might be an opportunity for Restrepo to hit that one time. Trying to make the right play, and he is unhappy with the communication there with Guzman. Altamirano flicks that on, and he's pushed off the ball there. Remember, fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through 2022. USL is excited to announce the championship in League One is going to remain in the ESPN family with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year featured on ESPN family of networks, including 9 on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
It feels like golden goal, doesn't it? Which
it does.
I hasten to
Yes.
add, it's not. But it just has that feeling. But like you said, Pop, you don't want to be the one to make the mistake, and yet you want to be the one to produce a moment of brilliance that could win the game.
Should be a throw in for the Tulsa side. Uzo held up. Thought Uzo in time, or at times, Dave, brilliant in stretches, then kind of went silent in others. First time that we've heard from him in a bit.
Yeah, he's had a couple of opportunities, didn't he? Here's the free kick.
Marlin Roberts keeps it alive. A die to Montpremier, who cannot settle it.
Pop, people are very quick to criticise officials. We don't tend to do it from our privileged position. I want to say well done to them tonight, because it's never easy, is it, when you've had a 50-minute delay. You know, they've got their work to do as well, and they've done it extremely well tonight. Kept the players safe.
Sheldon looking with Altamirano. Dye comes over to clean this one up, comes away with it, has options. Uzo leaves it for DaCosta. Good ball into Fredlin. Can Montpremier finish? And Fredlin Montpierre has put the Roughnecks in front in the 87th minute. And Fredlin slides into the bench. Oh, the sub. Montpremier comes on and puts the Roughnecks in front after the 50-plus minute weather delay.
Well done, Fredlin Montpremier. He's had to play a bit part role tonight. Comes on as a substitute. Didn't play much before the delay. What a ball from DaCosta here. Just picking out his teammate. And he had to just do well here, because he had 3 white shirts bearing down on him. But he finishes left-footed. And Montpremier gives the Roughnecks this 4-3 lead in this game that refuses to lie down.
Montpremier with, I believe that is his first goal of the season, and what a time that it is for goal number 1. He came in with an assist, 11 shots.
You're absolutely right. His first goal, what a time to get it. Will it be the winning goal?
Still a ways to go. Altamirano. Roughnecks, they feel like that they're not done. They've come out and have set the early tone. And again, another great look from Rodrigo DaCosta to find Fredlin.
It really was. That was the quality assist, wasn't it, from DaCosta? DaCosta into double-figure assists as well on the season with that one, Pop. Two minutes of the 90 to go.
Referee wasn't set and ready to go yet. Will this change the approach now? It will.
Yeah, Manny Gonzales here. Only 2 men up. Here's Gonzales.
Gonzales is going to have a go, and that one just dipped over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, it's worth having a go, isn't it? If he popped that one in 5-3, but back come San Antonio.
This is the most goals scored for the Roughnecks since that March 23rd 4-0 win over Tacoma.
Really good, strong play from Jeff Adai there to win it back for the Roughnecks.
I thought both those subs there centrally, Adai and Gonzales, is a gutsy call at that moment to make that decision, and it has worked out for Tulsa and Michael Encian.
Certainly has. DaCosta will get a yellow card. He won't be too worried about that, kicking the ball away after the referee's whistle. It was a gutsy call. Both coaches have brought their subs on. Offside. Roughnecks won't mind that, as we've got 30 seconds of the 90, but there'll maybe 1 or 2 players might be thinking back to the other night. when it was the 94th minute, excuse me, where Orange County scored. I think a few might be staying back tonight for the Roughnecks.
A few might be the wrong term. You might have everyone.
A bunch.
Try to park. There's the board that is up, and it is 5 minutes that has been added on.
That's
We did have a few injuries before we had the stop due to the conditions.
Roughnecks would love another goal here.
Well, there's a little extra contact, a little bump that sent Rodrigo da Costa into the signs here. I don't think the referee wants any more of that. Take a second look here. Everyone thought that that was a foul there with Jeff Adai.
That's a loose ball, and the Roughnecks will not mind that at all. They'll take their time.
Do we nominate Rodrigo for a little acting there on that? I mean, we just come off of the Emmy Awards.
The lad went down. That's all I'm saying.
He did.
The lad went down.
I think we all know what he's trying to do there, but
Little pull back on the shirt there, brought back by the referee.
driven ball there, looking, not enough on it to make it all the way across. Adai, tough challenge from Adai. He tried to climb up over the back.
Yeah, pretty much 7, 8, 9 players, I think 8 players it is in and around the box now for San Antonio. Big moment in the game.
Barmby. Wasted opportunity.
Darren Powell is not happy.
No, he was not. He turned and looked back at the bench and had both hands up in the air.
That's when you need the ball in the danger area, don't you? And he's just overhit it. So is there any more drama to come? 4-3.
Even with a win tonight, San Antonio would not have officially clinched. There's still a lot of work for them to do. And the Roughnecks just right now are a team that's not going to go away. Stidehar protects it.
No, they just got to just win the last 4 games and just hope for somewhat of a small miracle from other teams, but
Only
who
thing
knows?
that you can do from the Tulsa perspective is take care of your own business.
That's right. And they'll want to finish the season strong, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Gomez cannot get there in time. Sheldon with the throw in. Fredlin will take this directly towards the corner. Try to burn some time here. Well, trips and falls on it. Yarrow keeps the dribble alive. Hedrick picks up a yellow.
Another chance to get the ball into the box. It's not over yet. If you're a San Antonio fan viewing this, you'll be hoping for something to happen here.
Barnby's a big lad, isn't he?
He certainly is. Here's the foul. He won't want to overhit this one.
Now, if he does, he might hear about it from the head coach.
May have a go, but I think he should just try and play it in over the line there of defenders.
One of the last few chances that they have. It's driven, that's there. Steidehar has to go down, has it, and he'll set on it for a period. And it found its way through, Dave.
It did, and there it is.
And that will do it. The Roughnecks score 4, and Fredlin Mompremier has the winner. And that came in the 87th minute as San Antonio will move on from Tulsa without securing a point. And we'll see how that will impact their playoff chances moving forward. And the Roughnecks keep their slim playoff hopes alive, at least for a few more days until the weekend, where they go on the road to face Tacoma. Where, if you judge Tacoma off of how that they've performed, Dave, a pretty good opportunity to get 3 more if you're Tulsa. You got to go in that with the mindset that not only are we going to win the rest of them, but we've definitely got to win on Saturday.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great one to watch. And, you know, it's been an incredible game. Hats off to all the players, all the officials, and to our great crew here as well for providing the pictures and sticking with it. It's been a great game of soccer.
As we mentioned, San Antonio couldn't officially clinch tonight, but this one is a bit of a disappointment for them. After battling back from being down by 2, taking the lead, then have the Roughnecks level at 3 right before halftime, and then giving up the game winner after a 50-plus minute weather delay. We're going to take one final look at the game winner from Fredlin Mompremier. Goal number 1 of the season for him, and it's all because of number 16.
Yeah, it was a good dummy from Uzo, and then a lovely assist to his colleague there, a Mompremier. Look at that. There's the celebrations. That's what it means to the Roughnecks. That's what it means to win a 7-goal thriller.
4-3 is our final score. Want to say thank you to all the crew here at One Oak Field. Those of you watching in and that decided to stick with us on ESPN+, all the great camera shots tonight. And for my partner, Dave Saunders, I'm Jeremy Poplin. Final score for the final time. Roughnecks win and get 3 points on the night. A 4-3 victory over San Antonio FC.
My name's Sean Riley. I'm a practicing chiropractor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been fortunate to practice for 19 years, owner-operator of the integrated facility Tulsa Spine and Rehab. This is what sets us apart at Tulsa Spine and Rehab. Integrated care. We have multiple different providers providing multiple different options for multiple different types of conditions. We have a concise treatment plan. What that means is it's not going to be open-ended. We're going to make specific recommendations. We're going to get you feeling better as quickly as we possibly can. And lastly, we're going to get you, the patient, on board with your treatment. What that means is we want to get you involved. We want to get you doing home exercise. We want you modifying activity. And what that means is we're going to try to keep you out of this office. Ultimately, we want to get you moving.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug. You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
In about 8th grade, I realized that my knees really were hurting, and I ended up tearing both of my patellar tendons in several places.
Dr. Stanley and Tulsa Bone and Joint, he gave us all of our options, explained them, and we knew walking out that we were in the best place possible for her. From a mom's perspective, without Dr. Stanley, without his staff, we would not have been able to give her her senior year.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.